Hi, let's continue to investigate our Flask skeleton project. At first it would be great to refresh at mind our architecture scheme. As you remember, all starts from controller. So let's find it at our project structure. So go to the API folder, then resources and then hotels. Here you will find hotel search API Python file. So please open it. And here is the hotel search API class that represents our controller. Please take a look at current controller annotations that are used by the Flask IP spec package, which is able to read it properly and create ready documentation for our API. And it also provides Flask with a code-in URL, Swagger UI, that allows us to access to our all API points within web interface. So we are adding a coding configuration to our Flask application at that part. And here we are registering a code-in code. So I will try to explain briefly what we have here. We are saying that our API point is able to process all parameters that are defined by the params section. So here we have page, size, hotel name, city name, our geo coordinates, free places, and age. That is all familiar properties we already used in the second course section. I hope that you still remember that slide, where you can find the same parameters. So let's return to our code. In case response, we are using a model to describe all parameters we are going to send back. We are saying that our response would be represented as a list of hotel items collection. Every such item would be represented by name and star fields. So that is our simple response view. So we are defining it using special Marshall annotation from Flask API spec package. In addition, I want to mention here one commented line that is use Quark's hotel search request scheme that deals that you can also define input parameters not only explicitly but also using request schemes, the same as it used in a response case, but only for post type requests. It is not possible to use it for get, but it is often happens in such a way that request parameters are too long. For example, maybe you will have to pass some geo hash line or something like that. In that case, you'll be limited by the get length by itself, and it would not be possible to use get according API best practices, but you will have to use post, and it is often happens in such a way. So I am leaving it as a way of documenting your API in case you will use post method. That is a little bonus from me. And now let's return back to our code. And what is for all those annotation? Please open our API doc page. It is located at our local host, a coding port and Swagger UI. Our get API points was automatically recognized by a coding Flask package. Moreover, if we will expand it, we are able to see how parameters that could be processed by our API point. We also can see how the response looks. Here is our response body, and even how our models are built in response case. So as you remember, we have hotel search simple item, and every item has name and the star. So that is example of our response. Wow, cool, isn't it? We have got clear documentation. Now any front-end developer is able to make integration with our microservice, as he knows exactly what parameters we expect and what the final response would be. Moreover, you can test the API directly. Simply click that button, try it out. You can pass here any parameters you want and play with it. Test and see what responses will you get. That is how a good API should look like. So, great, we already have a controller with a well-documented API. At the next lecture we will speak about the builder pattern and DTO search criteria object.